my God, I'm still here. Now we got another player here. And there's another one coming, guys. I'm telling you, this is a real treat here. This is the Pickleball Show with Curtis Reese. That is Curtis Reese, and I am Toddi. What's your last name?
Barclay.
What?
Barclay.
That's a cool last name. Toddi Barclay. Cool. I'm just kidding. I'm Curtis Reese, and that is Toddi Barclay.
Hello.
So, Toddi, give us a brief background for yourself and tell us what you do here at the Oasis Pickleball Club in Rockwall.
I grew up on Orcas Island on a boat, which is kind of fun. I love it. That's in Washington State. And my husband and I found pickleball about 5.5 and 6 years ago. 6 for him and 5.5 for me.
It all goes together.
Yeah, it does. And we've just been all in with pickleball. We went to nationals in 18 and 19 and competed, and we love tournaments. We love the game. We love helping to grow it. And a year ago, we moved to Texas. We found Oasis Pickleball, 42 designated pickleball courts, and we were in love. And so we moved here and became coaches here, and we love growing the sport and encouraging new players and helping the ones that just want to get better and everybody else. So running tournaments and just having a good time is our goal.
And so with that being said, what's your role here? You just run tournaments, or you do lessons and all types of stuff here?
So we started with coaching, and we've experimented a little bit helping run tournaments, and it is our goal to possibly be more involved with that. We're still just looking at the doors opening up and figuring out where that all is going to be.
What's your favorite shot?
I love it when I get a drive that just goes barely over the net and drops between the players, and they're both just looking at each other.
What's that shot called?
A drive.
A drive.
A
She likes to drive. Soft drive, I guess.
Yeah.
What's your paddle of choice? Do you have a certain brand or a type of that brand?
Absolutely. Coming from Washington State, we are Selkirk people. We love Selkirk. We love the family. We love their business and what they stand for, and we're representatives of them. When we were in Washington, we didn't see the point because everybody loves Selkirk up there in Idaho and Washington. We were on the east side of Washington, so that made sense. And then when we moved to Texas, we signed up with them to be representatives for them. We wear Selkirk stuff all the time, and we love their paddles. They're so innovative and come out with new stuff all the time.
So if I get this right, you like Selkirk?
Yes.
Okay. Selkirk, you got a good rep here, I'm telling you, and player. So let's go to something funny here. Something funny. What's something you think somebody would think is weird or unique about you? I'll start with me. I just found out that the owner of this place knows my cardiologist, Dr. Lampy. Isn't that weird? What do you got?
It's weird. Connections. So I was going to say living on a boat, but I already talked about that. I grew up having a lot of fun.
What are those 5 things you had? Those animals?
That's my husband's talk.
Oh, okay.
So I also love being crafty. I love 3D printing. I had a friend introduce me to it a couple years ago, and I have a printer. I made these earrings. I make zipper pulls, and it's just, when we went to nationals, I was a little disappointed that there weren't little things that I could buy as a example of pickleball, something that I could just spend $5 and have in my pocket. So that's kind of what was my drive to come up with it. And I had a friend suggest to me making earrings also just this year, so I've started doing that. And I have people that order from me all over the nation.
How would people reach you if they wanted to buy something from you? Like online, or like want to buy your earrings, or? I
do have a website, but it's not.
Working on it?
It's not good. So I usually just hand out my card, and I have an email and a phone number, and
provide that if you want.
Kind of it.
Want to provide that?
My phone number, I guess.
Or your email, whatever you want to do.
Okay, how about my email?
That's
TBHQ, and then my last name, Barclay, BARCLAY @gmail.com. The TBHQ is for my name, my husband's name, and then we have 2 kids.
What are their names?
Hudson and then Quinley.
Nice.
Hudson is 15, just got his driver's permit.
Oh boy.
And Quinley is 10 and giving us a run for our money. She likes to shop.
Oh boy.
So,
All right, speaking of shopping, let's get this young man over here. Come on.
yeah, thank you.
Well, thanks for coming. Appreciate it, Toddi. Come on here. Uh-oh. Who's this guy coming in? I'm kind of scared here. Come on, man. Sit down, young man.
I'm not young anymore.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, I am.
He is. See? So I talk to you. You can just look into that camera right there.
Okay.
All right. So this is, tell me your name.
I'm Brian Barclay.
Brian Barclay.
That was my lovely wife, Toddi.
I know she's the better, smarter half. She's the boss.
She is the boss and keeps me in line.
I have one too. Trust. So does he. We all have one.
All
And
right.
thank you for that, Melanie. Tell us what you do here at Oasis Pickleball.
Well, right now, I've been helping coach level 1 and level 2 classes on Tuesday nights, and then every once in a while, Toddi and I have put on some clinics, and that's pretty much it right now. We've helped run a few tournaments, and we just try to help grow the sport and encourage more people to come out here and to learn and to embrace the family that's here.
What's your quick little bio that you want to tell our listeners?
Well, I grew up in Washington, Tacoma, Washington. Went to Washington State University. Go Cougs!
We miss Coach Leach, though, don't we?
Yes, we definitely do miss Coach Leach.
from my
I was there back
She went to
when
Texas
Drew
Tech.
Bledsoe was a senior and won
Really?
the Apple Cup and the Snow Bowl.
He should have saved that.
That was
saved
so
that for the
awesome.
weird
I was there. I froze my butt off at that game. It was so much
So
fun.
how win pickleball?
Well, I actually played pickleball when I was in my teens growing up in Washington State. We used to hit with wood paddles, these little plastic balls on the gym floor. I loved it. And then growing up after college, I just played softball. And about 6 years ago, a buddy of mine, Forrest, thank you, Forrest.
What's his name?
Forrest Fink.
There you go.
Forrest Fink. He says, I'm playing pickleball. I'm like, I think I know how to play that. And next thing you know, I'm whacking the ball like a madman. We went all in, and took us about 2 years to actually learn how to really play the game.
Yeah.
And I want to shout out to Dick and Steve for teaching us the game. These
Do they have last names like Bono or Shea or
Uh,
Madonna? They have last names?
Dick Rowley, Dick Rowley, and good old Steve.
There we go.
Anyways,
Good old Steve. I like good old Steve.
Good old Steve. He's out in Crescent Bar, Quincy area. And anyways, those guys, they were in their 60s. You know, here I'm in my mid 40s back then, and they were just schooling us. I'm like, how can I not beat these 60-year-olds?
I always love that.
You know, and then they taught us the game. They taught us how to dink. They taught us how to hit third shot drop, and my game has improved tremendously since then.
So what's your favorite brand? And show us. Let us all see. Look at the
See
camera.
that Selkirk. Of course, I rep Selkirk also. I'm a Selkirk advocate.
I think your wife
I
likes it, too.
love the Power Air. So
think.
much spin and power.
Mm-hmm.
I love this thing.
Texture like.
Oh, it's awesome.
What is this? The Invicta?
This is the Invicta Power Air, and I run 2 weights on the side. I got weights on the outside.
Is this still 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
Yeah, I just run them over here. But it's a great paddle. It's really improved
What's your
my
favorite
game.
shot, homie?
I actually love an inside out.
it.
I do a little cut and just inside out people and drop it at the net, and
They can run.
they can run.
And they look dumb.
Yes.
That's a tip point right there. I'm telling you, that's how to teach.
Yes. So
Well,
that's one of my favorite shots.
Your favorite shots, okay?
Yes.
Always making the opponent move. What's your favorite? Do you like mixed? Do you like doubles? Do you like singles? What's your favorite one?
My favorite one is men's doubles.
Why is that?
It just seems more pure of a game. It puts me back in my element where I'm my best. But I did have a good run last weekend at the Mid-South.
how'd that go?
I took gold. Got 4
got
or
a gold
5
baller.
last weekend with my beautiful partner Jenny Marcos out of Oklahoma City.
Hey, Jenny, is she on the Punishers?
Yes, she is.
All right. So you didn't know I knew that. I know a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she was fabulous.
That's
She
great.
was awesome. And then men's doubles last weekend, Mid-South, I took silver in the 4-5, 35 plus, 50 plus.
So what's the one unique weird thing that people would think was cool or funny about you?
Funny, weird, cool? I don't know. I got a bunch of dogs at home.
A lot of dogs?
A lot of dogs.
I love Ren and Stimpy cartoons. I'm serious. That's one of my weird things.
No, if you guys know what Dogecoin is, we have 4 Shiba Inus. 4 of them.
That's what it is.
4 Shiba Inus. Oh my gosh, they are like half dog, half cat.
Really?
It is crazy. They run around. They'll come up, pet me, and then next thing you know, don't pet me. You know, they have the mind of their own. So, but they keep us in check. My son does scent works with them, so they learn how to go hunt scents.
Oh, wow.
And he does that with my mother-in-law, and they do a great. Dog's been trained to do that, so they have a great time doing that. So.
Been a great time. Get out of here.
All right,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
coming.
Appreciate
Nice
it,
meeting you.
Curtis. Thank you so much.
Who's next? Come on. Pick me. Okay, state your name. Hello. I've got another amazing pro here I've heard a lot about. Tammy, tell us your last name.
My name is Melissa Pedroza.
I like that better.
Do what?
Her name's Melissa Pedroza. She's an amazing pickleball player and professional out here at the Oasis Rockwall. Tell us how, what, when, why pickleball.
Well, let's see. I've been playing for about 8 years. I started out in volleyball and then got old and couldn't play anymore.
Were you at the IPTPA thing?
Yes.
I saw you there, the one up there. Sorry, keep going.
Chicken and pickle?
No, the other one. We'll talk
No.
later. Off,
Okay,
go.
got it. Yeah, so got older. Wasn't as good at volleyball, so then I found pickleball with my husband. We actually started playing at the YMCA in Rockwall.
Oh, really?
Same people are still playing, same way. They're awesome.
I
Love
grew up
that
in
group.
Rockwall.
But yeah, so I've been playing for almost 8 years.
What do you do here at the Rockwall Aces and Pickleball Club?
So we actually have a junior AAU
Talk about
pickleball
this.
team.
Talk about it.
It's a nonprofit that Francine Jewett and I started. We've been coaching kids for about 4 years, but I think in 2021 we officially started the nonprofit organization. So we raise money to pay for their tournaments, equipment, shirts. We have people drive an hour away to come practice one night a week. We do, and we have kids events, super fun. A lot of them are getting involved in like the Texas Open, Mid-South. They're playing tournaments. It's so fun working with them. These kids are so passionate about it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I have just decided that she doesn't know this yet, but I've been searching for a junior pro for a long time to have on and talk about ins and outs, and I mean to reach out to her, but she'll come on sometime to talk about this. So tell me your thoughts about, objectively, obviously there's no right or wrong here, but with regards to the junior, in a snippet of junior tennis versus junior pickleball tennis, you see like something like a minor difference, like scoring, or they play longer, they have more fun. What do you see the differences? 'Cause I know when I did tennis, it was boring as drills and you got yelled at.
I mean, I don't really know much about tennis
But pickleball.
at all.
So is
But
it,
the kids love the drills.
okay? So
They
you,
love to drill.
uh-huh,
We usually make it competitive.
uh-huh.
So,
There
you
you go.
know, and they always want to stay longer. So,
How many kids do you have? Like, is it like 4 to 6 kids per quarter? How's it work, or 10?
so
or-
right now it's Francine and myself, and so we try to keep it. We usually have about 8 to 12 kids who show up for practice, but we have sometimes as many as 24 kids come, and we have
Got space, man.
we need volunteers. So
Ah,
like 'cause
see
we don't
that?
get paid, where it's all volunteer, but we are raising more money so we can start paying people for help. Right now our club is currently closed because it's Francine and I, and it takes away from the people who are already, they know how to play. We're working on skills. So we usually let them come and try out, maybe see if it's a good fit. But we also we're holding 3 different junior events this summer, June, July, and August, where all juniors are welcome, and we're gonna do big round robins and have prizes. It's gonna be really fun.
So that's awesome. So when people see this, hear this, we're in the process of setting up a YouTube channel right now. How would they get in touch with you about that the junior aspect, AAU, the volunteering and stuff like that? Email
if
address.
they wanted to volunteer.
Yeah, just that they can get the conversation started.
I mean, I would say to reach out to either myself or Francine.
And what's that email address? They can have that.
You're awesome at gmail.com.
There you go. It's okay, I get it. So,
I'm kidding.
no, I don't want to put you on the spot like that, but I'm just so happy that there's someone that's passionate
Yeah.
about that, and you're doing it for free, and I think that's I know that's amazing.
Yeah.
So we can touch on that later. That's fine.
Yeah, Gene from Oasis can put you in the right
Got
direction.
it. Gene Click, Oasis, the man over there somewhere. He's here. All right, so let's talk about your favorite shot.
My favorite shot is probably, I have 2.
It's your story. Go for it.
So I really love the
Depends on the mood.
reset shot. Like, I love to slow down the ball and reset from the transition zone. I think that's like one of my best shots.
Yep.
But I also love the backhand flick. That's reaching out with a low ball and just flicking it is probably more fun than the mid-court.
So favorite brand paddle, what are you using right now?
So currently I'm using the Warrior Edge.
Oh.
I'm testing out paddles right
Diadem.
now. And so that is what I'm using because I was with Head for a couple years
Yeah.
and my contract just expired. So I'm just trying out some new paddles.
Just testing the
to
waters.
see.
I would too,
There's
man.
a lot
I
of
get
good
it.
ones out there, so I'm trying to figure it out.
So what's your, do you prefer singles, doubles, or mixed doubles? Which they're all fun, but which ones do you?
Singles, never.
Okay.
So it kind of depends. I love women's doubles, and I love mixed when you're playing with a really awesome guy. Left-handed guys are awesome to play with because I'm kind of that side dominant, so it's fun.
You got to know this left-handed and right-handed. You know that, right?
Do what?
Your owner's left-handed and right-handed.
Yeah.
That's what he told us.
So yeah.
Okay,
that's it.
so
Love pickleball.
she does love pickleball. So my last question to you would be, what's something funny or quirky that make people laugh about you? I used to watch the Smurfs. I don't like the Smurfs.
So, I mean, I'm just pretty weird in general, so I make a lot of like weird comments, and I'm just a goofball.
She's
I mean, what
goofy.
can I
She's
say?
kooky. She's crazy.
Like, yeah, people know I'm weird, but they usually like that about me.
So it's basically you need to come out here and watch her work her magic, watch any of these pros do their magic to meet their personality. So, well, thanks for coming on. You've been paroled for now.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
So,
Who's next? It's like roll call. We're doing this old school. Okay, come on, man. This guy, I don't know this guy that well, but he's got a unique situation here with what he does here. Tell us your name.
Tom Iradi.
Tom, what?
Iradi. That's
Awesome.
like Iraqi with a D.
So why, what, where, when, how pickleball?
Well, they put up some municipal courts, and I thought, man, somebody really screwed up these tennis courts. They are nowhere near the right size. So then we discovered that there's a new sport that we hadn't heard of back in 2019. Then the world shut down, and we have a driveway that is large enough for a pickleball court, and it's pretty flat. So I took a pressure washer and I made a fixture out of plywood, and I pressure washed a pickleball court into my driveway because I don't want the HOA getting on me about
That is
paint.
so awesome. I've never.
Right?
I love these stories.
Lasted a whole year, but we have 4 in my family, so we just played and played and played because we're nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And I developed so many bad habits that I'm still trying to get rid of.
On the court or off the court? Just kidding. Keep
Yes,
going.
the answer is yes. But yeah, so then actually I came out here, discovered actually Melissa, who you just met, and Francine are putting on some clinics out here for people that want to learn. So I actually started doing drills with them. Just really loved it. I love the connection to people. So they were trying to move on, and they actually handed it off to me to take over the drills much later after I was really focusing on getting my skill level up. So that's when I really started to love teaching pickleball.
So
as
you're
much.
here full time now, right?
So I'm actually one of the resident teaching pros here. Not a professional player, but I am a certified coach. Rich makes sure that I put that disclaimer in. There's some kind of legalese that I need to speak there.
Oh, it's all objective here. It's free.
But yeah, so actually Toddi and Brian and Francine, we do a Tuesday night thing where we have an intro, a level 1 and a level 2 to just kind of proselytize the sport, bring people in, let them feel the success, and let them get connected to other people of like-minded, just want to have fun, right? So that's what I'm all about.
So you're the most important person, I'd say, with that, because you get the people in, and I've met everybody on staff here, and they all got that good vibe. But welcoming people, that's the most important part. You get them started, it's easy to get lost in a place like this. But that's good. Getting going. So you say level 1 and 2? Just kind of let the listeners know what that means.
Yeah, so we have an intro class, which is you never picked up a paddle. We'll teach you how to play in an hour, right? But after that, you can come into the level 1, and we'll get you up to a point where you're playing proficiently. At least you know what to do, you know where to stand. And then we have a progression where you can get to, 3-0 level player, right? Which means you know some of the strategy, but you want to perfect some of the techniques. So we'll take you up to that level. And then if you want to go beyond that, we got Jess, we got Rich, we got Toddi, Brian, and myself to do private lessons and say we can focus on your specific needs. So it has a whole life cycle. And it's really fun to see people that have started at the very beginning and then feel like they've gotten enough out of the level 1 and level 2s And then they come back to me later, and they're like, "Oh, Tom, you should."
Remember
You
when
would
I
have been
sucked?
You would have been so proud of me. I went back and returned a lob the correct way without running backwards and almost killing myself, right? So we get those are the things that really kind of make me realize why I'm doing this. That it's not only is you can't have a bad time hitting a wiffle ball around with a paddle, right? There's just
Pickleball.
there's no frowns on the court, right? But you're also making connections with people.
Yeah.
That's really that's what's satisfying for me.
So when you do play for fun, you know, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad at pickleball like I am. The fact that you're out there playing is all that matters. So
all that matters.
what's your kind of goal? Are you going to try to play some tournaments, or are you going to try to?
I dabble. I go into a few tournaments here and there. I mean, I work full time.
That's great.
I'm a physicist doing quality control automation for, that's my day job, right? I do this for
That's
fun.
the weird thing about him that I didn't know. I'm just
That is, there's many weird things about me. But I do this for fun. I try to keep it fun. And if I try to get overly serious about it, I don't want it to be a second job. I don't ever want to take that joy out of it. Play with all ranges of players. If I see somebody sitting and they don't have somebody to play with, I feel like that's me. I need to get out there and get them on a court.
So can people, if they want to contact, do they go to the Oasis website, or do you have to? I mean, it's up to you. Give email or not.
Both.
It's up to you.
Both. Yeah. They
What's
can
your email if you wanna let
contact
people
me.
know that?
It's my full name, Iradi @gmail.com. Contact me there if you want, want help
events.
with your game, or you want to know what events we have here.
Yeah.
We'll get you hooked up. And like I said, we got, you'll meet Rich here in a minute. He's a senior touring pro, right? So we've got all levels of instruction, all levels of player, and we can meet you at your game where you're at and bring you to the level that you can possibly achieve.
So what do you prefer when you play for fun or serious? Do you do singles, doubles, or mixed, or does it really matter?
So I play them all.
What mood you're in?
It
If you're
depends
in,
on,
you play singles.
maybe it depends on how hot it is. Maybe singles is on a cooler morning, and doubles, mixed doubles. I play, and my wife plays, so she and I will play on the weekends,
great.
just to kind of have a rec game. Play all different kinds of mix and matches, levels as much
Just
as
like
I can.
to play, basically.
I just like to play.
great.
Yeah, like that's what it's all about.
So what's your favorite shot if you have one right now?
Oh, I love the ATP. Right, if I can sneak one past somebody, that's always the money shot for me. Absolutely.
All right. So other than the physicist thing, what's one weird thing you think that people don't know about?
So I've got about 100,000 views on a pickleball parody song called "Dinks in the Kitchen," and it's under "Dinks in the Kitchen" on YouTube.
Are you on Instagram?
I am not on Instagram.
You follow me on YouTube. Keep going.
Yeah. So, but I've got about 8 parody songs. I started singing these at a tournament where Susan Henderson, she kind of runs some local events and some pickleball.
Here in McLean or Rockwall?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, she's over in Rowlett.
Oh, okay.
So the next door. Anyway, she asked me to kind of, hey, make some songs, do some entertainment.
Belt
so I was
it
like,
out, brother.
okay. So Dinks in the Kitchen, you can look it up, but if want me to riff a couple.
All right. You ready for this? Everybody listen up. He's going to sing. Go for it.
My Selkirk arrived just the other day. It came in the mail in the usual way. Now there's an open court. They said, come on, let's play. I said, I'm not too good. They said, that's okay. And we were dinking for we knew it. And as we played, I said, I want to play like you, yeah. I want to play like you. And the dinks in the kitchen and the Ernie move. The overhead slam and the serve and the groove. What's the score again? Well, it's 0-10-2, but it's been sure nice playing with you, yeah. Sure nice playing with you.
Dude, that was awesome, man. You guys are going to clap? Come on. There we go. There's like 5,000 people at it. We muted half of them. Okay, everybody? You understand that?
Thank you.
So, well, I'm glad you came on. I mean, I don't know how we beat that. I got nothing.
I can't wait for them to sing their songs.
Well, I don't know. This next guy coming on, I don't know if he's going to beat this one, but thanks for coming.
Hey,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
We'll see you soon. All right. Here he comes. The Thunder. Not from down under. Mr. Rich Lopez, right?
Yes, sir.
So get close to that mic, right close to you. It's kind of mic's kind of right in your gear here, right?
Okay.
So does it sound good? Okay. So this is another amazing, amazing pickleball professional on and off the court. I know he's an ambassador for the National Pickleball League, which we've had some friends on, guests on today in the past couple months, and he was supposed to come on, but he forgot about me, didn't show up. I'm just kidding. No, you didn't. But this is Mr. Rich Thunder Lopez. Go for it, brother. Right in the camera.
Yes, I did. I forgot all about you. I am so sorry. Please
See the
forgive
empathy?
me.
See that? I forgive you.
Thank you.
Let's go.
No, it's
So
great
tell
to
us
be
about
here.
pickleball.
Thanks so much for coming out here and supporting us here at Oasis and doing what you love to do and getting the word out about pickleball, man. It's great.
Well, it sounds to me like I'm not going anywhere. But, well, good. So tell us about your story. Tell us about the name I was given by one of our counterparts. You can name drop with pickleball, where you started, what you're doing now, all that good stuff.
Well, I'll tell you. How did I get started?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a transplant. Growing up, I played every sport that had a ball. Soccer was my first love.
Yeah.
Got into baseball. Did that for a while. Got into fast pitch softball. Transitioned to that. Played shortstop many years. But played football, played basketball. Like I said, anything with a sport. Got into racquetball later on in life. Did that. Probably about 33, I started playing racquetball. Got hooked up a couple years later with Gearbox.
Nice.
That's kind of how I got introduced to the Gearbox family.
Wow.
They took me in, and it's been great. I did a good, 10 years of racquetball. Didn't really get to the pro level. Got to the open level. Wow. But people always wondered and asked, Rich, how did you get into pickleball? And I said, well, I said no for 2 years. I was 45 when I first heard about it. I said, I'm not old enough. I'm playing racquetball.
Exactly.
Racquetball is
You're not old enough to play pickleball? Is that what you said?
I wasn't old enough to play pickleball. And, what happened was, an injury happened, and so I had to stay off the court for a little bit. And once I was rehabbing, my buddies kept bugging me, and they said, hey, come out and just try it. Just hit it. I kid you not. I went out there, I tried it. I was 47, mind you, 2 years after saying no. I was 47, I tried it once. After that week, I called up Joel from Gearbox. I said, hey, Joel,
Hook me up.
I know you just started doing this pickleball stuff. I want paddles, no more rackets. I'm going to go do this pickleball thing.
You said it perfectly.
and when he tells me, he goes, Rich, we don't have a pickleball sponsorship program. I said, we'll figure that out later. I just want to do this pickleball thing. So I was hooked from day one, and I just got into it. And then one day I finally, fast forward, I drilled for a couple years. Had no idea about doing the senior pro thing. I just knew that 50 was a great year. That's all I kept hearing about. So I turned 49, and I go to sign up for my first tournament, and it tells me, hey, put down a nickname.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, okay. So I put in my nickname, Thunder. And mind you, back then, I have no idea. So I go get my first match called. Back then, nowadays, they just text you. And you go to court 20, whatever, or court 5. But back then, they said it over the intercom. And I didn't know when you put in your middle name that they didn't do the first name. So next thing you know, over the intercom, it's Thunder Lopez to court 4. And I'm
I
like,
heard
what the heck?
You take your shirt off, go running.
Right,
Yeah!
right.
That's what you did.
And so I was like, oh, great. So everyone's looking around. Who's Thunder? So it was kind of funny, to be honest. But that's just kind of how it just took off. So people ask, well, where does Thunder come from? And so back when I was young, I was 17, a senior in high school. Back then, I used to hang out at the arcade and going to the arcade, playing air hockey and all that stuff.
Yes.
So I look over and there's this little game being played on the side, and I saw it. And because I'm a soccer guy, it was table soccer. I've heard of table tennis. I've heard of different things, but I've never seen table soccer, which they call foosball.
Foosball, I'm like, what?
Okay, so foosball was a thing, and I'm like checking it out. I'm like, hey, this is kind of neat. So I started tinkling, messing with that. Next thing you know, my buddy and I were like, hey, we need to join a tournament. So we joined the tournament, and our first tournament, we got to come up with a team name. So we come up with the team name. I was Thunder, he was Lightning.
Oh, my.
And that's
so
how Thunder
much.
starts. And I kid you not. So
Should have
he
been
had
Tango and Cash.
Yeah, for sure. He had an amazing pull shot. It was really fast. It was like lightning.
Oh, Lord.
And every time I would shoot and score, it was loud. So that was fun. So it was just like a classic thing. So it just kind of stayed with me throughout the years. And so for those out there wondering how did Thunder come about, that's where it comes from. Back in the foosball days.
Can I be the cloud?
You go
No, I'm
right
just
ahead.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
You can be the cloud. My buddy Paul Olin says
Yeah, okay.
it calls me Drizzle, so I don't know.
He's Drizzle. All right, I get
Yeah,
it.
he loves it. He
So
loves
I'm not
it.
taking that away from you.
Not at all.
Okay. So
but
tell us
no.
about. Keep going, man.
No, and that's kind of it. So when I first started playing, I had I had a couple of guys that really took me under their wing, and which I was really thankful. Some of you may have heard of Jordan the Breeze Briones. Him and his father Batong, they kind of brought me into their wing when I first started out in Concord, California. And you know, when people, sometimes it's tough to get into the high level group. You know, when you're not strong enough to play, they tend to not let you play. And you know, everyone has a story where they go through and you have somebody that shunned you, and I got one of those. And so, you know, for many it kind of deters people, but for me it kind of gave me the fire. And so it allowed me to push and pull, you know, to grind. And one of the things I'm very thankful for was Batong, one of the most selfless guys I've ever met and an ambassador for pickleball. He did a great job out in Northern California, still to this day, still is doing an amazing job. And Jordan, for that matter. If you guys check him out on YouTube, you know, he's got his Oasis Pickleball. Those guys took me under. And if you see the shirt I'm wearing right now, actually, it's called Good to Great. Good to Great. Batong started this group out in for our drill team, our drill group, for those that are wanting to get to the next level. And I am a product of that Good to Great. So I started, when I started working out here at Oasis, I just wanted to keep his legacy going. And so I started a Good to Great drill group myself. And it's just been awesome. So I tip my hat for those out there that take the time to help build the sport, to help the next ones to come, the next generation to come. You know, I applaud all of you guys out there doing the work, because sometimes it goes unnoticed, but I'll tell you this, I'm a definite fan of everyone out there giving that new person a chance. You know, so.
That's I can't really beat that. That's pretty good. I mean, that's the truth. I mean,
It is.
you can see when people don't really understand it or get it or care, especially in this sport. But anyway, that's all I got. It's awesome. Favorite shot?
Favorite shot? I have to go with the lob.
That's what Gene loves. Outside or do side? Outside?
I'll do
depends on
the
the
forehand roll, but you know what? I like them both.
I like the
backhand.
I like the
Actually, you know what? My favorite shot is the backhand lob down the middle, because when I push this guy wide, he sends it back. I volley it over the guy in front of me, he's unexpected. So I do a backhand. It's like an inside-out lob over, and it's
cool.
Off the volley.
I can see
It's
that.
very
Off the
important.
volley.
Off
Yes.
the volley. It's very
there we
important.
go.
Off the volley.
At no volley zone line. Love it.
Yeah. So
All right.
that's my
What's
favorite
your brand? Obviously, what's your favorite brand and paddle with it?
I'm a Gearbox guy through and through. I've been with them from the beginning, and they're just it's a family.
What paddle do you use?
I'm a GX5 guy, and at the moment, I am the OG man. Everybody's heard of me. They know, they love the sound of my
You
paddle.
have your own paddle.
I like to say it's my own paddle, because
It's coming, baby. It's
there's
coming.
only about 4 of us that use it still. And I'll tell you this: it's an attest to how amazing and how the Gearbox paddles are built. Built to last, for sure. My paddle's 3 years old, and I'll drop a hint: Gearbox is never done innovating and creating. So I'll just tell you that, and I'm excited. So if I'm excited,
Everybody's excited.
so I will tell you this. One day I look forward to taking my OG paddle and have all my buddies sign it and putting it in a frame.
In the Hall of Fame, Pickleball Hall of Fame.
It would be great.
And every
So-
time people walk past your paddle, right?
and for the record, if there's one person that loves my paddle, it's Atoff Merchant.
All right, what's something weird about you? I've told too many things today.
Weird about me.
That people think's funny. Okay, I said I was a triplet. I said that.
Okay, trick question. My kids, I'll tell you, they think it's funny that I can do a belly roll. So they like it when I do a little belly roll. They think it's kind of crazy. I embarrass them all the time, because
How do
I'm
you
an
do
old
that?
school guy. So anytime music's on, I'll start popping and locking. So people think it's weird, because I do puns to music all the time.
Good.
So if somebody says something, I'll start singing a song. If a good song pops on, I'll start dancing. It's just how it goes. So that's kind of the.
He's his
quirky
own
things
show,
about
is
me.
what he is. He's his own show.
I don't know about that.
Hey, man, you come back on. We'll have you back on soon. Thanks
Hey,
for coming.
thanks, man. Appreciate you.
All right, I think we may have one last pro coming up. Let's see Who's coming on? Are you coming on? Come on. You're done. See you, Rich. Good time. How are you? You get close to the mic right there.
Okay.
There you go. So, this is Curtis Reese with the Pickleball Show, remote from the Oasis Pickleball Club, and I have no idea who the hell I'm sitting next to.
Jessica Welch.
Jessica Welch here at the Oasis Pickleball Club. She showed up a little late because she's was playing a match out in Australia, but we're glad she's here.
Okay.
So tell us about you, where you're from, just a small little bio of you.
Yeah, I'm from Washington State, and that's where I learned pickleball. My dad taught me. So I've been playing maybe 10 years and just moved here in the last 7 months. We moved here for Rockwall and for pickleball, a lot of the reason we moved.
Really?
And so,
Because of this
yeah, we've been here and played some tournaments, me and my husband.
Darren
So
told me that.
yeah,
Wow.
so we're just glad to be here, and yeah, now I'm finally got hired here, which is what I wanted to. And so I get to
Exactly.
coach. Yeah.
So what do you do? Like I said, I don't mean to put people on the spot, obviously, but if someone wanted to do something here, they live in this area or somewhere, what do you teach here? What do you do here? Specialize in, or do you do
Right now
everything?
I'm doing private coaching for pickleball. So one-on-ones, all ages, any level. Even if you never hit a pickleball, we'll coach you.
Awesome.
But I really like to focus on footwork, fundamentals, because we tend to learn pickleball and then never learn that stuff on the court. We just learn how to
Exactly.
hit the ball over the net and the rules and stuff. So it's a lot of fundamental coaching, things like that.
So she does the basics. She does footwork, and I that is true. Footwork is very important.
Yeah.
So I would say, with regards to that, you do privates, and then you're from Washington State. Why? Did I ask you about what, when, why pickleball yet?
What?
When, why pickleball?
What, when, why pickleball?
Yeah.
So I think I learned like 10 years ago, and I went and visited my dad in
10
California.
years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I'm only at 5.
I should be a 5-0 by now.
No.
I'm not. So it's been a while, but it was in California. My dad lives in Palm Springs, and so he taught me on a court. And I
like
love anything athletic. I have a fitness training
I can see
background.
that.
Yeah, so I just connected instantly.
That's
and then
awesome.
once I realized the social, like, we had a community in Bellingham that did it. I just fell in love because I had never been a part of a community like that big. And so that was it for me. Fitness and community, I was like sold for the rest of my life. I love it.
Great. So what's your favorite brand? Do you have a brand you use?
Yeah.
just kinda
I've been
floating?
going through the power paddle shenanigans, I feel like.
Oh,
so
the
I've been
harder one. Like
just
what
trying
brand?
all the different
Ah.
tech. I tried, I don't know, I've been through
Duck
everything.
paddle.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Ace paddle, and there's the other power paddle. Well, I started getting tennis elbow really bad and went back to Selkirk, which is, I think, a really solid brand.
Selkirk.
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
Well, then, what's your favorite shot?
My favorite shot? Okay, it's an inside out, but it's when I'm dinking and they've shaded and then I split the middle with
Shaded,
my
dude.
inside out.
That means moving in pickleball. Nobody knows that. I know that.
Yeah.
Nobody knows I know that.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Keep
when
going
they've
through shading.
shifted. Yeah.
Shifting's tennis.
So it's a trick. It's just a trick deception shot, and I love
So
tricking
you run around
people.
your forehand, run on your backhand, or both?
I go with my forehand mostly, and so it's when I'm cross dinking to the left side, I fake like I'm gonna go angle, and then I go
Oh.
middle, and they split, and I
Okay.
just love it. I
She's-
trick them, they miss hit it all the time.
She's a baller. I understand. So singles, doubles, mixed. Which do you have any preference?
I
with what you
definitely
do?
like women's doubles. I thrive well in, and then mixed I struggle, but I like doubles altogether. That's my jam, and I don't like singles.
Unless you're mad.
It's a totally different strategy, and so I've tried it, but it's so much exercise it's too much exercise for me, which is saying.
I don't think a lot of people understand that concept of being different between tennis and pickleball. That's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody will. It's still good sports. So, what is something? Oh yeah. So tell me about something funny or unique that people are like. What? Because I've told a ton of stuff out here today.
I was gonna say something about Tony Robbins, me walking on hot coals, which I thought was unique. But honestly, everybody laughs when I tell them that I like to break dance, and so
I broke
feel
dance.
like I should throw.
Manchester, Missouri. I break dancing for 7-Eleven. Like, yeah,
There
Big
we
Bend
go.
Road.
There
You
we
kidding?
go.
Of course,
Let's
I'm a
get
lot older
down.
than you
Six
are.
step.
But I'm just saying. What was the other thing you said? The hot coals.
Yeah, so like I did a Tony Robbins event, and we walked across like a long bed of hot coals.
You did a Tony Robbins event.
Yeah.
Was it awesome?
It was awesome.
Obviously, you walked across the coals.
Yeah, now I have something to brag about. Like,
Did you with your husband?
didn't even hurt. No, I did with my family actually. All
All
did
of
it.
you guys
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
She's a nut job, but she's she's a good athlete. No, I'm just kidding. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
It was nice meeting
Appreciate
you.
it.
And this will wrap it up with
Okay.
with our show for
Thanks,
today.
everybody.
Oasis Pickleball, and be looking for us. Thanks again. Come on, let's pickle. Say bye.
Bye.